EWS.
It's the Overnight Underground. Here's today's headlines. The market rebounds a bit. St. Patrick's is canceled, but not the drinking.
You're drunk.
Sanders and Biden do Detroit. Inmates make hand sanitizers.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
Italy is closed, and the New York subways could be next. And a new dating site for men that don't quite measure up. I'm John Ford, and here's your Overnight Underground news. Yesterday's stock market nightmare has turned into something more like a wet dream in the overnight trading. Stocks in Asia, Europe, and even oil have seen fairly large overnight gains. Dow futures hung in the positive range in the U.S., pointing to a 1,000-point gain. Well, it's official. Ireland and Boston have officially canceled St. Patrick's Day.
Live on Main Street, where today everyone is a little bit Irish, except, of course, for the gays and the Italians.
The parade will not go on in Dublin. Cork, which hosts the second largest parade in Ireland, has also canceled its parade. I'm sure no one is that disappointed. Just skip all that parade nonsense and head directly to the pub. While the Irish may have canceled St. Pat's and the hipsters axed South by Southwest, neither virus nor old age or threat of death can stop the Democrats from their appointed rallies. Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders have continued their aggressive campaign events despite the pandemic. Primaries are set today for Washington, Idaho, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, and North Dakota. While the two old guys stump in Michigan, the Detroit News reports on one way to keep from touching your face: the cone of shame. The Beverly Hills-based Premier Pet Supply is offering the cones for humans at all of its 8 locations.
I do not like the cone of shame.
Dogs finally get their revenge. Governor Cuomo has already set New York State prisoners to task making that special prisoner hand sanitizer. No, I'm not kidding.
It has a very nice floral bouquet. A little, I detected lilac, hydrangea, tulips. What does it smell like to you? Tulips, yes. Floral bouquet, making it in the state of New York.
We've definitely entered bizarro world here. Cuomo seems damn proud of the New York hand sanitizer made on the backs of prison labor. The Legal Aid Society in New York isn't too keen on the governor's hand sanitizer salesmanship, yesterday sending an email condemning Cuomo for, quote, exploiting incarcerated New Yorkers to produce cheap hand sanitizers. And I don't know about you, but when I think about sanitary, I don't really think prisons. The governor also has other plans for the incarcerated in his state, burying the dead if the pandemic spins wildly out of control, which should be any day now. In other New York coronavirus insanity, officials in the city are not ruling out shutting down mass transit. And yes, that means the subway. Needless to say, this would mean insanity in New York City. An estimated 4.3 million use the subway daily in New York. As it stands now, workers are using bleach to scrub down all subway stations, cars, and buses. In related news, the head of the New York Transit, Port Authority Director Rick Cotton, has tested positive for the coronavirus. The Italian Prime Minister announced on Monday that the Italian restriction zone will be extended to cover the whole damn country. No longer just a red zone in the north, it now covers all of Italy. All sporting events, including football matches, are being suspended nationwide. Look, that's it. It's serious. The Italians have canceled soccer matches nationwide. That's a big damn deal. That'd be like the French imposing a law to be pleasant to foreigners, or Amsterdam locking down their hookers and weed.
Time to kick back, drink some beers, and smoke some weed.
In somewhat related news, Israel is pretty much shutting down their tourism industry. The country is now requiring a 2-week quarantine for anyone entering the country. Israel has reported nearly 40 cases of COVID-19. The policy goes into effect this Thursday. Netanyahu did not mention anything about lamb's blood over the doorframe, so I think we're good. For now.
Oi!
A woman in Hartford has found a new use for hand sanitizer, setting her apartment on fire. 28-year-old Destiny Wade is under arrest for starting a fatal fire that ripped through her apartment building over the weekend. According to police, during a domestic altercation, Destiny lit a bottle of hand sanitizer on fire and threw it at her girlfriend. A 50-year-old man was killed in the fire. Keeping flammable objects away from lesbians and angry spats with their partners should be followed at all times. Can't find face masks to help ward off the coronavirus? A Tampa strip club is offering them to paying customers. Deja Vu Showgirls Tampa announced Friday it would be giving away 10,000 face masks to its customers. In somewhat related news, a woman with what has to be the perfect stripper name, although it's unclear if she is a stripper, Stormy Lynn Parfait, has been placed under arrest in Ashland, Louisiana on drug charges. It appears that Little Miss Parfait attempted to bail out a friend with marijuana-tainted cash. After getting a whiff of the skunky money, a detective searched Parfait's car, finding $45,000 in cash, about 100 Klonopin pills, and a food stamp card that wasn't registered to Parfait.
A fella could have a pretty good weekend in Vegas with all that stuff.
There are dating sites for sugar daddies, Jews, Muslims, horn dogs, and old farts. Now there's one for men with small willies. I kid you not. The New York Post reports that DinkyOne.com is now live for guys who don't quite measure up and the women who love them. According to the site, those with a member smaller than 5.5 inches, the global average erect penis length, are defined as dinky ones. Men are eligible to join.
Have you actually got a penis?
Yes.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's in there.
Are you sure? So it's like Mr. Snuffleupagus, is it?
Oh, to hell with this. Get the ruler. We're measuring again. And this time I decide where the base is.
As they say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Dolly Parton is turning 75 next year, and you'll never guess what she wants for her birthday. And no, it's not a guy with a small tallywhacker. She wants to be on the cover of Playboy. Again.
I plan to be on the cover of Playboy magazine again. See, I did Playboy magazine years ago. I thought it would be such a hoot if they'll go for it. I don't know if they will. If I could be on the cover, again, when I'm 75. Boobs are still the same.
The rumor is she'll be featured as a foldout on page 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Not that anyone cares anymore, but Madonna, yes, she still exists, if even just in her own mind, has canceled her latest tour. She only had 2 shows left on the Madame X tour, both of which were in Paris. The formerly famous pop star has axed a number of her shows in the last few months, leading some to believe that the cancellations were mostly due to lack of interest from her former fan.
N-E-W-S.
A mostly correct and occasionally incomplete transcript and links to reference sources and articles of this Overnight Underground can be found at overnightundderground.com.